All right, let's get right into it today. We're going to talk about a mindset that honestly might be the single biggest thing holding you back. We're going to dive into why that instinct to find everything for free might actually be the most expensive habit you have.
So let's just start with this question right here. Think about it. I'll just Google it. We've all said it, we've all done it. A problem comes up, and that's our go-to move. But what if that simple little phrase is actually a trap? What if it's the very thing keeping you stuck in a cycle of endless searching instead of actually doing?
You know, before you can build anything new, you've got to clear the ground. And that means we have to get real about the two biggest excuses that stop people dead in their tracks. These are those sneaky thoughts that sound so logical on the surface, but are secretly sabotaging your progress.
Okay, excuse number one is always about the price. Oh, it's too expensive, or I'll do it when I have the money. But here's the truth, and this is a game changer. The price tag? It's rarely the real issue. The real variable here is the person. It's you. And this slide just lays it all out, plain and simple. An action taker is going to take action. Period. It doesn't matter if it's $7 or 25 grand. They move because they see the value on the other side. Now the hesitator? They're going to poke holes in it, ask a million questions, and delay, even if the offer is literally free. So you see, the issue isn't the cost. It's that deeper mindset, that fear of making someone else rich, instead of seeing it as fuel for your own fire. So that's the money excuse. Now let's tackle the other big one. And man, this one is everywhere. It's the Google fallacy. It's that classic line, why would I pay for that when I can just find it for free? But that thinking has a huge, huge flaw. And this quote right here, this just hits the nail on the head. Google is amazing. It's fantastic for finding a specific, isolated answer. But a pile of answers is not a plan. It's not a system, and it is absolutely not a strategy that's going to get you from A to Z. So here's the bottom line. Yeah, you could probably piece it all together from Google, but we're talking about years, potentially, of trial and error, going down rabbit hole after rabbit hole. A blueprint, on the other hand, gives you a proven, structured system. It's designed to give you clarity and fast. It's the difference between trying to solve a 1,000-piece puzzle with no picture on the box versus having the final image right there in front of you.
So this brings us to a super important question. If you aren't paying with your money, what are you paying with? Because let me tell you, nothing is truly free. All that time you spend Googling, trying to connect the dots, it comes at a very real cost.
Let's just do some quick math. Let's say your time is worth a really conservative $20 an hour. If you spend 80 hours in 1 month researching, and that's just a couple hours a night, you've just spent $1,600 of your time. That's a massive opportunity cost. That's time you could have been building, earning, or just spending with your family.
But really, it's not even about the money. The ultimate hidden cost of free is the one thing you can never, ever get back, and that's your time. You can always go out and make more money, but you can't get back the years you lost spinning your wheels. That's a price that is way too high to pay. Okay, so we've torn down the excuses. We see the problem. So what's the solution? Well, it's about a fundamental shift in how you think. It's about adopting what we call the planter's mindset. I mean, it's such a perfect analogy, isn't it? A farmer doesn't just hope for a harvest. They know they have to prepare the soil, they have to plant a seed, and they have to nurture it. It's a natural process of investment to get a return. Our own growth works the exact same way. And we can break this whole thing down into 3 really simple steps. First, you plant the seed. That's your investment, your money, and your time. Second, you clear the ground. And this is so important. You have to get rid of those old, junky mindsets we talked about. It's like moving into a new apartment. You clean it before you put your new stuff in, right? And third, you have to let it grow. You got to trust the process you invested in. Stop digging up the seed every 5 minutes to see if it's working. You'll kill it. But planting that seed, that's really just the beginning. If you want to build something that lasts, something that can handle a few storms, you need a strong foundation. That seed has to grow some deep, deep roots. And this slide forces you to ask a really honest question. Are you building a bush or are you building a tree? A bush, yeah, it might pop up fast, but its roots are shallow. The first real storm comes along and it's gone. A massive tree, though, it can handle anything the world throws at it because it has an incredible root system holding it down. This is why this saying is just so powerful. The height of your success, the part everyone sees, is directly proportional to the depth of your foundation, the part nobody sees.
If you want to build something that scrapes the sky, you better be prepared to dig an equally deep foundation of learning and investment.
And listen, this isn't a one-and-done deal. As a tree grows taller, its roots are constantly pushing deeper to support that new growth. Your first investment? That's just getting the seed in the ground. Every upgrade, every new course, every bit of continued investment, that's you actively digging your roots deeper so you can handle bigger goals and, yes, bigger storms.
So let's bring this all home. How do you actually put this to work? It's simple. First, stop using price as your go-to excuse. Check your own mindset first. Second, start looking at learning as an investment in yourself, not just another expense. And finally, seek out structured blueprints that give you clarity, not scattered Google answers that just create more confusion.
And hey, if getting that clarity fast sounds good to you, then here's your clear next step. There's a live training happening today at 2 p.m. Eastern called The Gold Mine Hiding in Plain Sight, and it's all about showing you a model that works without you having to build it all from scratch. And this isn't just talk. This is a real system with real results. In the 24 hours just before this was recorded, look at that number. 748 commissions were paid out to people using this exact system. That's 748 people who planted a seed and are now seeing the results. So I'm going to leave you with this final thought. You're already investing your time every single day. That's a fact. The only question you have to answer is this. Are you using that time to plant a seed in good soil, something that's actually going to grow, or are you just out there digging aimlessly in the dirt? The choice is always yours.
On January 1st, the world will experience something unlike anything. It is the day the Hustleverse officially makes its debut. Welcome to the Hustleverse will be the first installment of the greatest collection of edutainment music to ever be created for the Hustleverse, and your first opportunity to get access to a movement designed to inspire, motivate, and fuel real hustlers. 2026 album of the year has arrived, and this is just the beginning.
Yeah. Everybody got a speech. Everybody got a quote. But when it's time to lift something heavy, that's when you see who's real. Talkers and builders. It's talkers and builders. Same room, different mission. One sell a dream with a smile. One bring tools for the fix. One love the sound of success. One love the word when it's missing. So I move with the builders, cause the fruit tell the difference. I seen them type facts, then they vanish when it's action. Whole timeline full of hype but no traction. They know every saying, every caption, every line, but can't produce one result if you give them the time. They'll debate you for hours, try to win with a phrase, while a builder take 10 minutes and change his whole day. I ain't mad at talking, words can spark a flame, but if it don't turn to work, it's just smoke with a name. I come from where the block had to share. If one guy to play, we made room at the chair. Now I watch these lone wolf types bragging online. Hold back in they bio, but they die on that grind. So I built me a system, put a map in the dirt, cause the truth ain't loud, it's consistent at work. If you can't carry bricks, don't call it love. I'm building a legacy, not a common club. It's talkers and builders, same room, different mission. One sell a dream with a smile. One bring tools for the fix. One love the sound of success. One love the word when it's missing. So I move with the builders, yeah, cause the fruit tell the difference, yeah. I used to take a personal, like why they don't support. Then I learned most folks clapping got no strength to live more. Hey, they tired from their own stones, they drowning in their own doubt. So they cheer for a second, then disappear when you're out. Hey, but I still keep receipts, cause patterns don't lie. If you only show up when it's easy, you not mine. See, a builder ain't perfect, builder bruising still here. Builder shaky some days, but he faithful to fear. Builder asks for the blueprint, not the gossip, not the tea. Builder say, show me steps, not tell me what to believe. Talker love being seen, camera hungry, ego fed. Builder love being solid, hands dirty, goes ahead. Talker chase validation like a drug in the night. Builder chase elevation, turn pain into a light. So when I pick my circle, I ain't picking by fame, I'm picking by effort. It's talkers and builders, same room, different mission. Different mission. One cell, a dream with a smile. One bring tools for the fixes. One love to work when it's missed. One move with the builders. Decision day, yeah, that fork in the road. Either stay in the crowd or commit to the code. Cause legacy get messy when your message ain't clear. They'll fight over who you were in a race while you're here. So I speak with precision, no fog in my tone. Who I am, what I do, what I'm building, set in stone. I'm building with believers, not browsers on the fence. Cause I like what you're doing, ain't the same as investment. Some can share a link, but can they help you build? Can they hold you accountable when you're ready to quit? Can they tell you the truth when your feelings get loud? Can they stay 10 toes when the wave hit the crowd? That's a builder. Someone solid when the spotlight gone. Someone playing with you daily till the harvest long. So if you want the freedom, bring discipline too. Cause the talk feel good, but the build pull you through. Yeah. Talkers make noise, builders make history. Choose who you are, and choose who you build with.
Okay, family, I'm back at it again with another quick affiliate marketing food for action message. Now, this message comes from Gary V. It's a simple message, but it's very powerful. Every second you spend thinking about what somebody else has is taken away from the time that you could create something for yourself. That's very powerful. There's a lot of people out here that's so worried about what they look like, what other people are going to say about them, the impression that they think they're giving to people that prevents them from taking action on their own lives. There's something special about you, and there's something that you have to present to the world that's valuable. And you shouldn't let trivial things stand in the way of you delivering what it is you have to offer. There's people that have all types of conditions and all types of visible problems, speech problems, whatever type of problems. Some people are positive, some people are negative, but they don't let those qualities about themselves that might seemingly deter people stop them from living their dreams. So I want to encourage you guys today on what I call Decision Day Wednesday to create something for yourself. And if you don't have any, idea of what that might be, I want to invite you to join me on a free training. Actually, it's one of my most recent lives that I did just a day ago. And it's very powerful because it might give you some insight as to how you can create something for yourself. So if you're interested, comment hustle, and I'll send you the direct link so that you can get access and hopefully start creating something for yourself today.
Send in the rescue team before this get any worse.
It's a movie I direct. Every scar got a roll, every loss got a set. Lights on the truth, I don't shoot for effect. I turn pain into scenes the world won't forget. No permission slips, no waiting on chance. I cut the fear out the frame, let the vision advance. If life wrote the script, I rewrote the intent. Welcome to the mindset, movie studio mindset. I ain't standing at a screen, I'm standing in control. Whole studio in my reach, every button got a goal. They taught us consume, never taught us create. So I flipped the equation, turned delay into fate. Every failure got I give you food for action, don't choke on the truth. This lesson I prepared was made just for you. Feast up, I'll keep serving till the pot run dry. Got enough cooking to feed the whole country, no lie. Too many flavors, you know, I got what you like. Don't start beefing with me, you won't win this fight. If you come in peace, keep your teeth intact. I got a plan to get this cake, come grab a stack. Life could be sweet, if you listen, you'll see. Food for action on a platter, served fresh by me. I'm serving knowledge on plates, got the recipe down. A blend of hustle and wisdom, that's my sound. I'm feeding the masses, no crumbs, full course. But if you bring nothing to the table, find the door. Stop acting like you got beef, it won't taste right. This flavor's reserved for those ready.
Okay, family, we are live. We are live. And once again, I want to welcome you guys back to another episode of the Hustlers 10-Minute a Day Challenge. Today is Strong 44, day 4, and we are right at 17 minutes into today's challenge. So yeah, I had to give you that amazing intro. I had to give you that, trailer to, the main event, so to speak. The trailers to that special movie that, well, you didn't pay for to get into, right? You got free access to this movie, this movie studio that we have here, right? This, whatever you want to call it, you got free access, but it's worth every single penny that you didn't have to pay. And if we were to put a price tag on it, I don't know what I would, I don't know what I would value it at. Every single day when I look at this amazing document, what I consider to be the most valuable document in all of online marketing, and I see this $2,997 value price tag on there, I feel like I'm still undervaluing myself. I'm undervaluing what it is that I have to offer. And I think the price should be raised. I think the price should really be raised. I'm not going to do it today. Instead, I want you to, just, you know, go through the catalog, go through the different lives, go through the information, go through the value. And not only just go through the value, but I want you to test the value by applying it, taking action. Now, today is the perfect day to do that, right? Because it's Thursday. It's what we consider and what we call it to be action taking Thursday. So I want to challenge you guys. I want to challenge you to take action on the information that I've been providing you, the value that I've given you consistently. I want you to take action on the overall blueprint that I've laid out for you each and every day. I want you to pay attention and take action on the things that I may have not necessarily said directly, but things that you've observed, things that in your logical mind, not your emotional mind, but in your logical mind, it makes you say to yourself, man, this is where I need to be, and this is where I need to bring other people to. I don't want you to base things off of hype. I don't want you to base things off of, promises of riches and all this make money from home stuff that, most people or I should say, nobody can really guarantee you. But I want you to base it off of facts. I want you to base it off of real tangible things that you've seen, that you've heard, that you've witnessed over the course of time. And I want you to make your action plan based off of that. Now, yesterday was Decision Day Wednesday, right? And part of the intro talked about, Decision Day Wednesday. A lot of that information was from, you know, the perspective of, from the perspective of having the time, the 24-hour period of making a decision, which is one of the hardest things most people have to do. Making a decision could be, you know, that that thing that gives you that pit feeling in your stomach, in your gut, knowing that you have to decide first before you ever take action. Now, once when you make that decision, you know, then you got to act on it. That's the whole purpose of making a decision. That next 24 hours after making the decision, I know you feel a little queasy, you feel a little worried, you feel that anxiety build because you know that either you made the commitment just to yourself or, as we spoke about yesterday, about writing goals down, about making a commitment so clear that you actually put it up in front of you, put it in the mirror, something that you have to look at and face on a daily basis. And that could be a hard thing also. Looking at a decision that you said that you were going to make and then hesitating on taking the action, saying that, hey, I'm going to start this on this day. And then that day comes and you happen to go in the bathroom and you look at that that decision that you made in the mirror and you say to yourself, man, I'm about to make another excuse. I'm about to let myself down or let the people that I made this decision or this promise to, I'm about to let these people down. You know, I don't have a problem with shaming people. Some people need to be shamed. And, you know, a lot of people say, hey, you shouldn't do that to people. But some people will never change unless you do certain things. Like, let's be honest, some people need a good ass whooping. You know, sometimes just talking to a person is not going to get it done. You know, they hear you, they nod their head and say, yeah, yeah, okay, okay, I'm listening. I believe you. I'm gonna do what you say, and then they don't take any action. But then, when you possibly have to get a little physical, you know, that changes the story for a lot of people. All of a sudden now they hear your words. When they feel you physically, now all of a sudden they hear you verbally and they say to themselves, oh, okay, yeah, now I realize they're serious and that this is something that I need to take action on. Now that brings me to the topic of discussion for today. I did my thing by my daily ritual by pulling up the new tab. And I don't want to hit that refresh stories button right there yet because I don't want the stories to change. I want it to stay as it is. Now, I didn't intend on talking about this story right here that I've seen on here, but I want to direct the attention just to this right here. And it just goes deeper to the point of what I was saying about making the decision. Could be one of the hardest things that you ever did. And I'm not going to click on the story to go too deep into the story. We just want to read this headline. But it says gospel star Tina Campbell's husband files for divorce after 25 years of marriage. Imagine that. Imagine being with somebody for 25 years, being married to that person for 25 years, going through ups and downs, going through trials, going through hopefully a lot more good things than bad things. and then coming to the point where you have to make a major decision. You have to make a decision to file for divorce. Now, I'm going to look into the story myself to, grasp and see if they give any detail as to why he decided to file for divorce after 25 years of marriage. But I know it had to be something hard for him to do. I would think, I would expect, no matter what's going on in the situation, whether, the last year or so was all bad, you know, that can change a person's perspective on the first 24 years. And it can make him feel as though, man, I've wasted my life. I've wasted my time in this relationship. I've wasted, so many years that I could have spent doing something else. Now, there's a lot of people that's going through similar situations, and it doesn't have to be in marriage type situations. It's in everyday type of relationships with, you know, your business. You could be going through the struggle with your business now, and you're at the point where you might be feeling like making a decision to divorce your business. Well, you're saying to yourself, man, it's a lot more bad times than there's good times. I've put forth all the effort that I can, and the results that I want or that I expected from this relationship is not yielding results for me. It's not giving me what I need. It's not giving me what I want. And it's time for me to break ties. A lot of people are going through this type of situation in their online business. And that's what we focus on, right? We use real life stories to help us bring perspective. We can get inspiration and perspective from just about every area of life if we're paying attention, if we're looking and paying attention to the signs that's being presented to us on a daily basis. One of the hardest things for most people to do is to see a situation that might relate to them and then completely try to ignore it. They realize that this situation kind of hits home to them in a way that, you know, may be painful and may reflect a decision that they might have to make. But they decide that, no, that's not about me. I can't really, get into that. That's that situation there. It has nothing to do with me. But in actuality, it does. Now, I didn't want to talk about that particular situation there, right? But I did have a story up that I wanted to speak to you guys about. And this story was more so related to the Disney layoffs. Recently, Disney had to make a decision themselves, right? Now, this decision that Disney made, it was based off of, something that had to possibly be hard for them to decide on, to make a decision about. And, it can't be easy, even when it comes to corporations, when you have to say, hey, I'm gonna lay off 1,000 employees. Now, this happened just a day ago, right? I saw this story headline: Disney lays off 1,000 employees, which is underway, right? Disney layoffs of 1,000 employees are underway, right? They haven't fully done it yet, right? As the title suggests, it's underway. CEO Josh Diamaro says, "I know this is hard." Yeah, he can imagine it's hard for the families and the people that, has relied on this employment, this job, this position. And now they're going to have to make a decision. You know, I hope it's not something that's so swift that it doesn't give these people enough time to try to rebound, try to come back from it, try to find another source of employment for, right? So hopefully it's something that they're able to, you know, transition as smooth as possible. Now the workforce is a little bit, it's up and down, and it's up and down for a few different reasons. But I want to read here the key takeaways in this particular story of Disney. And it might give you some light bulb moments, right? So, workforce reduction. Disney is eliminating about 1,000 roles across marketing, studios, TV networks, ESPN, product and technology, and corporate groups to streamline operations. That's a widespread, elimination. That's a lot of roles that are being eliminated or reduced. Let's say reduced, because they still need a lot of these people in these different positions, but they're reducing the size of the workforce in those areas. So marketing is the first thing listed. And I'm glad it listed marketing first because we're in the marketing industry. And the one thing about marketing is that it could be some of the most expensive aspects of your business. Marketing is one of the most important aspects of your business. What you share with your community, how you present yourself, that guides the way they make decisions and the actions that they take. So a person sees a good advertisement from your company, they decide that, hey, I want to support this company. They want to support it with money by purchasing products or services, whatever it is that they have going on. And that's just something that, is really important. The studios. Now, Disney has a lot of studios. They create movies, reducing the studio roles. TV networks, ESPN, product and technology. This is, something that could be very hard and challenging. But let's move on to the next thing that we have here. Leadership and strategy. CEO Josh DiAmaro emphasizes the creation of a unified enterprise, making division under Azaz to serve consumers more effectively and foster an agile, tech-enabled workforce. That's interesting. So leadership and strategy. Everybody has a strategy. Everybody has a blueprint, a plan of action for what they want to achieve. And this right here, the last portion of it, kind of says more to me than what it actually says directly. It says to serve consumers more effectively and foster an agile, tech-enabled workforce. Well, every time I see the word tech-enabled workforce, the more I see, terms like that, it makes me think AI. AI. Now, it's not that all of a sudden these companies don't need people or they don't need these jobs or roles to be done. It's just that they don't need as many humans to perform these roles. That's what I hear when I see this type of information. They don't need as many humans to perform it, and they found a way to streamline the process so that they can reduce the workforce while still maintaining productivity. So we have to understand once again how valuable tech is in the real world and how everybody's making a decision around tech. And you have to also decide to make a decision around technology. You have the power with the tools that we have and everything that we share with you within the Hustler's Secret Success System. That's part of the Hustleverse. We share with you different pieces of tech that will allow you to do specific things, right? And then this last point here, employee support. The Amaro acknowledges the difficulty of the cuts, stressing they are not a reflection of employee contributions and pledges resources and guidance for impacted staff. Mm. So what that says to me right there is, hey, we love our employees. It's nothing against you. It's nothing that, you did wrong in particular. But we just had to do some things to make business a little bit better. We had to, you know, streamline some things. We had to do something that I've heard this term a long time ago. We had to do what's best for business. You know, I used to watch WWE heavy every week, and the head of the company, he used to say this term, what's best for business. And that became one of his taglines. But that's from a corporate standpoint. That's what companies are faced with on a daily basis, having to do what's best for business. And you have to decide too, what are you going to do that's going to be best for your business? Maybe it's taking on, you know, the identity of the hero itself, being the person that takes over the marketing, being the person that's in the studio, working the tech, you know, being a researcher, the product and technology person, whatever it is that you need to do in order to make your business more streamlined and to make it successful. All of these things are necessary and somebody has to do it. Maybe you have to be the person to do it. Now, I don't want to keep you guys too long today. I just wanted to touch on this particular story because I felt it was really valuable, and it's not a rare story. It's not something that's not, going on just about everywhere, but it's something that hopefully you can use to apply to your business and your daily activities. Now I want to transition a little bit over to our amazing system that we happen to be part of. And just to let you guys know, there will be a live training today, at 2 p.m. EST time. And this live training is going to go over, as the title says, external intelligence, the 8-figure shortcut most marketers will never find. So most people are, looking for solutions, and most people will never find these solutions unless they're part of specific inner circles that allow them to get access to the real information that will help them. So in this live training, my business partner, Wayne, he introduces William, a private 8-figure marketing strategist who quietly generates 5-figure days using the traffic method most marketers have never even heard of. This isn't a new platform or a funnel trick. It's a single strategic shift that separates the top earners from everyone else. William will demo it live, reveal how his team can build the ... So right there, it leaves a little it cut off. But if you want to know exactly what this individual, William, has found out and the shortcut that he's found out that most marketers will never find, I want to invite you to join us today live at 2 p.m. EST time so that you can be part of that live training. So with that, I hope you guys have enjoyed today's live and have gotten some value out of it. And we're going to close out, just like we always do, with a powerful song and something that we always close out with, right? But I'm thinking about still, the intro video, the intro music. talkers and builders. That right there, it's part of it, or I should say it's a featured song on the album of the year, the Welcome to the Hustleverse album. And that song right there has song of the year potential. That's something that, I really feel like, it has that classic vibe to it. The lyrics, the message, everything is on point about that. And I would put that song in the song of the year category. If there was an award show, I put that song up there because it's that powerful and that strong. So with that, I hope you guys enjoyed today's live, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Have a great rest of your day.
Woke up to silence, dreams still heavy. Phone screen dry, but my vision stays steady. Mama said, baby, that job ain't your lane. But I clocked in anyway, chasing someone else's gain. That got me dancing with denial at night. Scrolling for hope, but it's hidden from sight. 10 minutes a day, sounded small at first. But in silence, even whispers can quench a thirst. Notebook in hand, wrote my future in ink. Mapped out my mission before I started to sink. Every post was a prayer, every share had weight. I wasn't selling a link, I was shifting fate. I found my rhythm in the quietest place, where hustle meant healing and grind meant grace. From the corner of doubt, I carved my space. Legacy ain't loud, but it wins the race. 10 minutes a day, brick by brick, built from the bottom, now the vision stick. No hype, no cap, just clarity. This ain't just income, it's legacy. Every click, every song I create etches my name where they can't erase. You can doubt, but you gon' see. 10 minutes a day turned into legacy. People laugh, said she doing too much. To my PayPal ping, then they changed up the touch. No big brand, no six-figure crew, just a mic, some lyrics, and a dream that grew. Tired of waiting for the gatekeeper's call, so I built my own stage, held my own hall. Suno on deck, that's the beat in my chest. GPT spin like I'm born to impress. Said I'd never make it, cool, noted. But now my bars turn pain into coated. From broken to branded, I ain't asked for fame, I asked for freedom and I claim my name now. Hustle berry on loop like healing chance, for the girls who grew up with limited chance. This is more than a challenge, it's breaking the chain. Cause 10 minutes a day rewired my brain. 10 minutes a day, brick by brick, built from the bottom, now the vision stick. No hype, no cap, just clarity. This ain't just income, it's legacy. Every click, every song I create etches my name where they can't erase. You can doubt, but you gon' see. 10 minutes a day turned into legacy. Now my daughter sees me different, eyes full of fire. She said, Ma, your words lift me higher. This ain't a hustle, this a heart-led path, where math meets message and message meets math. Community over clicks, value over hype. I ain't here to trend, I'm here to type blueprints for the ones still stuck in fear. Let them borrow my belief till their purpose clear. Haters still quiet, but I'm loud with grace. Posting in peace, face, not a mask on my face. Every bar I drop, every beat I ride, I'm free in the